Find clients who are willing to work alongside you and go through those growing pains with you, who will benefit from your success as much as you do personally, right? Surround yourselves with clients who are almost as much invested in your business as you are yourself.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and the wisdom of how they sold their first million.
How would you like to make your first million? And today we have an tech entrepreneur, Jared, the founder of Attitude. So Jared, tell us, what are the 5 steps for tech entrepreneurs out there to make the first million?
Sure. I think the first one is the thing that I wish I listened to myself more on, which is take risks sooner, go for it sooner than you think you're ready. I debated starting this company like for 4 years before I actually started it.
Wow.
And had I started 4 years ago, we would be having a very different kind of conversation. I'd already be retired. So
you will be a billionaire by now, yeah?
That's right. That's right. So take risks sooner than you think you're ready. The worst that happens is you don't succeed and you try something else, right?
I agree 100%.
Surround yourself with really smart, but also hardworking people. Intelligence is, to me, only like 30% of it. 70% is having the right people on your team. So people who are willing to work as hard as you as a founder. No one should be working or will be willing to work as hard as you, but you can find people who maybe get 90% of the way there. And so I was lucky to have 2 or 3 people really early on that were working their butts off and were really dedicated to the company to help me grow it quickly. Third one is pick and choose your clients, your customers wisely. Find clients who are willing to work alongside you and go through those growing pains with you, who will benefit from your success as much as you do personally, right? Surround yourselves with clients who are almost as much invested in your business as you are yourself, right? Be cost effective. This is one that almost all entrepreneurs,
especially in tech, yeah.
Especially in tech,
Money flies, yeah.
It's very expensive to run these companies. Engineers are very expensive, right? Yeah. So be really cost effective. Only spend money if you absolutely have to spend. Only hire if you absolutely have to hire. Even today, we have 60 employees and we've raised a lot of capital. We make a lot of money. I still run the business as if we are bootstrapped. Like every decision I overlook. Why are we spending $200 here? What's this $20? It helps, right? And the final one is being okay with failure, right? We remove, any startup is going to move very quickly. They're going to be constantly launching ideas, testing things out. Someone asked me this morning, actually, what percent of the time do you launch code and then immediately revert it? And I said maybe upwards of 50% of the time. And we're okay with that. We expect that 50% of our ideas are going to be disasters, and right? If you get like hung up on that and trying to fix and make everything perfect, you won't move nearly fast enough.
Wow. So Jared, tell us your background. Are you a software developer or what is your background?
Not really. I am now. I went to school for entrepreneurship and economics. So like more of a math background, but I was part of a lot of really early stage startups in college. Right out of school, I went to a pretty early stage startup that eventually became really large. But I was always on the what's called ad operations, so more of the business side of ad technology. But I taught myself how to develop in my spare time, and like the very first version of our product, I wrote the code for.
Yeah, so it's interesting, yeah, because in this podcast with Unstoppable 5 Steps How to Make Your First Million, I would say 1 out of 5, 1 out of 6 entrepreneurs that show up to this podcast, they are either property entrepreneurs or tech entrepreneurs, right?
Yep.
So, but there is something more interesting, yeah. Still, all the successful tech entrepreneurs that I have interviewed, none of them have been software developers. They are always in the other side, in the business side, in the sales.
Okay.
So tell me the honest truth, because
Yeah.
people see the Googles,
Yeah.
the Mark Zuckerbergs,
Yeah.
the Facebook guy, this guy, that they were software developer, and people think that software developer actually can now build a multi-million pound technology empire as
Yeah.
things are today. And I'm under the impression that things have shifted a little bit. And in today's market, if you don't have a business background, if you don't have marketing and sales, nothing against software developer,
Right.
but if they don't have a strong understanding and embrace this part of the business, I think that the times of the Bill Gates and the oh my God,
Steve
where's
Jobs.
of Apple? So the those times, I think that they are gone. So what's your view in this, and why do you think that this is happening? Or still you can be a genius tech and still you can become a billionaire. Do you think that this is realistic in the tech industry today? What's your view?
I think yes, but what I think it is totally still possible, but you will find that most very intelligent, successful engineers don't want to do the other stuff, right? So like when I started my business,
Understand?
I grew the business through a ton of marketing and sales myself, right? I did all the marketing, I did all the sales, and I built an okay product. I didn't build a great product, right? And how did we get to the next level? Is because I hired a CTO and he built a really good product, right? And then it was easier for me to market and sell it. And so in most of these companies, you'll find that, yeah, maybe the founder is more on the business side and they had an idea and they're able to sell the crap out of it. But yes, I bet you ask almost all of them, like, yeah, I have some really intelligent engineers. I have a CTO as a partner or co-founder or something like that, who is the masterminds behind the scenes, right? And so like a lot of those people, there's that saying like to be heads down, hands on keyboard, right? They like to be focused on their work and they don't want to be doing these kinds of conversations or talking with clients or whatever it may be. And they're okay taking a back seat. But it also helps finding people who are willing to do both. Right.
Absolutely.
So like I said, I wrote our very first version of our main piece of tech. All of our business people are trained how to code. All of our developers are trained how to sell and they get on client
Wow, I
calls.
love this concept. Amazing. How
Yeah.
you manage to do that? Yeah, this is very very rare. How you enroll a software developer in understanding the principles? I mean, even they
Yeah.
don't say, but at least understand the principle that, hey,
Yeah.
code I'm writing, somebody had to buy it, so we
Right.
hear the clients. Because I remember Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, all these people, right? They were geeks, but they did have a pretty good understanding about sales, marketing.
Yes.
I
Yes.
mean, that they have to sell the idea. And I think that somewhere on the way had been lost in translation in the tech industry, that people think that, well, because you have a genius and you are amazing writing code, you're gonna have a pro a product, and you're gonna ignore the other
Yeah.
parts, and it
Yeah.
doesn't work like that, right?
No, no. The product is only as good as the people who are able to sell it. There's
Oh,
plenty
I
of
like that quote. I love
yeah.
this quote. Yeah, that's good
There's
value.
plenty of companies out there that have really bad products, but they're so well marketed that people love them. Okay. But how do we do that? Two ways. One, we're very particular on who we hire. Our interview process is it's tough to get a job at Attitude. You have to go through a lot of rounds and meet a lot of different people because we're not just judging you on your existing skills, we're judging you on how quickly you can pick up on things and also what personality type you have, right? Like we don't want heads down, hands on keyboard developers. We don't want those types of developers. We want people who love to talk, who want to get on calls with clients, who want to communicate over Slack or whatever, over email, things like that, right? It's a rare breed, but they exist. The second way is a ton of training, right? So if you join on the business side, you meet with our engineering team and they will teach you how to code in TypeScript. They will teach you about GitHub and how to push code because we want you to know that. And vice versa. If you join as an engineer, you will go through a ton of what I call like ad ops training. I'll teach you everything there is to know about our market from a business perspective, how we price, what makes us unique. Because to be frank, even if you're not doing that, you're infinitely better at your job if you understand all aspects of the business, right? If you only understand one little part of it, it's really hard to do that job.
Okay, and now, yeah, because I'm reading here in your in the notes that our team put here, right?
Yep.
That you guys have already closed a round for 15 million in Series A funding. Wow,
Yes.
this is something amazing and
Exactly.
says a lot about you, because if people have a lot of confidence to give you 50 million for you to to manage, yeah, you will have you really know what you're doing. So let me ask you the question that all our listeners are waiting for. What are the steps to actually find not 15 million, to find the first 2 million in a round? Let's say you have the idea now, yeah?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And it's not 5 steps. You can tell me 3, you can tell me 6, I give you
Yeah.
3. Yeah, but
Okay.
we have a lot of people, that is getting all this step totally wrong, that they put a lot of money into an MVP, they spend all the money they have, and now they're looking for the investor to bring the product to market, and the investor say, well, you haven't sold it, so why you want my money? And
Right.
everybody's stuck in this. And
Yeah.
if you can break it down for our audience, that would be amazing. Someone that has raised 15 million,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Yeah. Fair enough. Thank you. Thank you. I think we had a little bit of a unique way of doing it, but it was very successful and it made raising capital very easy. And
Tell
this,
us. We
yes,
dive to
so it was one, do it as cheaply as possible. So you say people spend all their money, we spent almost no money. We built
wow,
out as cheap of a product as possible
the
from a
first
development
MVP, right?
perspective. Yes, and cheaply, what I mean by that is like we spent a ton of time how to optimize our costs from a development perspective. We did it with only a handful of employees, and we didn't seek any funding until we were already making millions of dollars.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.